Hello, my dearest friends. Welcome or welcome back to my channel, Diana and the Book Hunt. With the summer fastly approaching, I wanted to do a trope recommendation video with a trope that feels very summery to me. Specifically, I hope that it feels the same way for you. This one is the road trip romance trope. I've got a couple of romances lined up for you where there's a road trip going on for some reason or another. And a lot of them are ones that I've read, and I also have a couple that are on my TBR that I'm going to mention in the end as well. I'm going to start off with a book that I just recently read. It's one that I gave 5 stars to, so you should definitely pick this one up. It's Left the Forever by Tara DeWitt. This is her latest release that features a couple who have actually divorced. So this is kind of a marriage in trouble, but more so like a second chance romance between a couple. We've got Ren, our heroine, and we've got Ellis, our hero. They were childhood sweethearts, and she got pregnant when she was 17, so they have a son together. And now they're in their 30s. Their son is at the age where he's going to go off to college, and they're going to help him move to the college campus. And then the hero, Ellis, he proposes to drive back together and make it kind of like a road trip. And it's a bit of an awkward proposition because obviously they're divorced. And at the same time, we've got a situation of the heroine really. They've been divorced for 5 years now, I think. So she's kind of trying to move on with her life. But at the same time, we do find out that the hero is very much wanting to get back with the heroine. There is also a subplot of a letter exchange between the two of them and them not knowing that they're writing letters to each other because the hero is a firefighter, and they get these care packages anonymously sent through to them. The heroine, she owns a bakery and she sends him baked goods. He obviously very quickly finds out that it's the heroine, that it's his ex-wife who is sending him the care packages, but she doesn't know that she's messaging him. So it's a very, I thought, a very emotional, and I also think a very mature kind of a romance, because they do try to work out their issues during the road trip. It's not just them reconnecting, but really talking about how they're going to overcome the hurt that occurred during their marriage. So the problems that they had, which I really very much appreciated. So there is some emotional backstory to this story. But there is also this road trip element where they are helping their son move and then go back home with a couple of stops on the way. So I really, really, really highly enjoyed this one, and I would definitely recommend it. The next one up is a sapphic romance by Alison Cochrane. This one is called Here We Go Again. We've got a romance between two ladies who could not be more opposite of each other. Both of them are teachers in this small town, and both of them don't really like each other at the start of the book because they have some history together. At the same time, both of them are very much connected to their high school teacher from way back when. Both of them are friends with him. And it turns out that he is terminally ill, and he would very much like to go on this road trip as his last dying wish. And they cannot deny him his last dying wish, right? So both of them agree to go on this road trip together with him, even though they hate each other's guts at the start of the book. Little do we know, or do they know actually, that both of them have always been attracted to each other. It's just been a matter of really talking their differences out with each other and really seeing that each of them has their own sets of kind of preconceived notion about the other that is just not correct, that they need to kind of look past it. So we've got an emotional romance in this one as well, because we definitely get to see the grief of the two of them having to say goodbye to a very dear friend of theirs. But at the same time, it brings them closer to each other. I think that it was a very much kind of a needed forced proximity situation for them, where they were forced to talk to each other and talk some things out. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I was very surprised by it because I didn't expect it to be a 5-star read for me, but it was definitely worth it. Now, the next book is actually a new release by Kayla Gross. The book is called Change of Pace. We've got a heroine who is diagnosed with Kawasaki disease, and because of what she has gone through with her medical condition, she decides to make up a bucket list. And on her bucket list is to have a one-night stand. She goes to this bar, she gets picked up by this wonderful guy, and they have this one-night stand. But little does she know that he is actually her best friend's brother, who is there because the sister, so her best friend, is going to get married. So she has a one night stand without knowing that it's her brother. And essentially the two of them, they really hit it off, and he finds her bucket list on her fridge when they have this one night stand, and he decides to ask her if she would like for him to help her out with the bucket list to really do this road trip so she can cross off within a very short amount of time most of the items that she has on this bucket list. And she would be crazy to say no, right? So she decides to go on this road trip together with him because he has an RV, and he is actually a tech millionaire kind of a person because he develops these apps. So he has the means to cover for certain expenses, let me put it like that. So there is a road trip going on, and there is a lot of fun elements within this book. We also have this bucket list thing going on within this book that I really highly enjoyed. And overall, the representation within the book is great as well. So I would definitely recommend this one. And it's not a very long book. I think it's like a 300-page book, so it's quite easy to get through it. So yeah, this one I would definitely recommend as well. Now, the next book I read last year and I highly enjoyed it. It's the debut novel by Jessica Joyce called You with a View. This book features a heroine whose grandmother has recently passed away, and she finds some letters that were addressed to her grandmother, like love letters, but they were not from her granddad. So she posts those letters on TikTok trying to find the person who is behind those letters. And little does she know that this person, he is still alive, and he's actually the grandfather of someone that she actually quite dislikes. And they set up a meeting for her to meet the granddad, but the hero comes along to this meeting as well. And when they start discussing the love story between her grandmother and his grandfather, the grandfather is like, oh, it would be great to visit these places again. And they agreed to go on this road trip with him to revisit those places that were very dear to his heart and her grandmother's heart as well. And the three of them embark on this road trip together. I really highly enjoyed this book as well. I mean, I think road trip romances really work for me because we've got different kinds of settings that provoke kind of different situations, and also the adventure part of it really makes it all the more fun to read through. And we obviously always get some kind of shenanigans going on with some kind of, like, if they go camping or if they go to a certain place that makes them kind of have the one bed trope, or anything goes with a road trip romance. So I think this one, again, is one where, first of all, we get the reminiscing part of the granddad with his romance with the grandma, and them connecting over the fact that actually I think the heroine had more preconceived notions about him and really thinking that he dislikes her. Well, it's actually not really the case, and them discovering that they are actually very compatible with each other. So yeah, this one is definitely worth it as well. I don't think it's actually set in summer, is it? I don't remember. I think it was more set like in spring or maybe autumn. I don't remember, to be quite honest, but I think it's a good romance to pick up during the summer because, again, the adventure element of it is one that definitely will have you kicking your legs up and thinking this is a perfect romance to read this time of year. Now, the next one is a romance that is more of a backlist romance from Julie Ann's books. It's Naked Love, and this one actually made me reconsider my dislike of entitled heroines, because within this one we've got an entitled heroine. She is just the worst. at the start of the book. And because I typically don't like these kinds of heroines, when I started to read this book, I was very much tempted to DNF it, to be quite honest. But I'm so happy that I stuck with it, because the hero made such a difference within this book, because he's actually like this entitled queen hater kind of a hero. And he already from the start of the book is like, if you want me to help you, you're going to have to suck it up. You're going to have to do whatever I say, because you're not going to make it otherwise. We've got a situation of the heroine. She's a preacher's daughter. She goes from LA to her dad's small town, and her car breaks down. And she needs to get back to LA, but she doesn't have any means to pay for it. And her dad is like, you're going to have to figure it out, girl, because you're going into all these kinds of sets of troubles. And you're going to have to adult in this situation. And he does offer her like a lifeline, where he's like, we've got this guy within our small town. He's going to be going to LA, but he's going to make a road trip out of it. So if you want to ask him if you can join him on his road trip so you can get to LA eventually, then that's your prerogative. And she goes to this guy, and he immediately sees that she's the princess kind of a heroine. And again, he says, I'll take you to LA, but you're going to have to suck it up for all of the things that I've planned on this road trip. And she reluctantly agrees, because she really doesn't have any choice. And the growth that this heroine goes through in this book is what really made me love this book all the more. Because again, if we've got an entitled heroine, I definitely want her to be confronted with her behavior, and with the fact that she definitely will need to change for her to be, that she will be loved and really appreciated for more than just her entitled behavior, right? So I really, really enjoyed this one, and I would definitely recommend it. Now, the next book is actually not specifically a romance, but I wanted to throw this one in there because it's definitely a book that you might consider picking up during the summer period. It's The Guncle Abroad by Stephen Rowley. This one is actually a second book that follows up the first book, that focuses on these characters. So I would definitely recommend that you pick up the first book, which is called The Guncle. And then The Guncle Abroad is the second book, where we've got our hero, Patrick, I think his name was. He is the gay uncle of these two kids. In the first book, the kids lost their mom and their dad. He needs to go into rehab, and they get sent off to the gay uncle, the gunkle in the situation, to live with him for a period of time. Now, in the second book, the dad, he's going to get married in a destination wedding in Italy, I think it was. And the kids, together with the gunkle, will go through different countries on a road trip to get to Italy in the end, as a final destination, so that they can witness the wedding. So they go on this adventure together on this road trip through European countries, where they again are exploring different sets of issues for each and every one of them. And there is a romance within this book. It's just not the focal point, it's not the main point within the story. So if you enjoy this kind of found family aspect and also the adventure of a road trip within a book, then this one is definitely worth it. The next book is by Mimi Grace. It's called Along for the Ride. This one features a heroine who is going to help her sister and her brother-in-law move their stuff from one city to another, because they're going to be moving. So she hires this U-Haul kind of a truck, and will be moving their stuff over on this road trip kind of a situation. And at the start of the book, we find out that she's supposed to do that with her dad, but her dad gets, like, I think he gets called on this like other trip, like on a vacation with a friend. I don't remember what it was, but he gets called off. He's not going to be able to join her. So it's the brother-in-law's, I think, best friend who gets called to help instead. And the thing is that they have encountered each other before, and they just didn't vibe very well when they were meeting each other for some reason or another. And the heroine is like, I don't really want to go through this with this guy, but I don't really have any choice because it's like the last day before the move, so they need to do it. They go on this road trip together with this U-Haul, and a lot of things happen in the meantime. So a lot of things go wrong, and the two of them need to figure it out. There is this one bed trope. There is the situation of the U-Haul breaking down, and just a lot of shenanigans go on in this book, and the two of them really need to figure out how not to kill each other. At the same time, there is this big attraction between them, so they definitely have something going on and they need to figure it out. So it's a fun, short kind of a read that I did enjoy. I have to say that the ending of the book, or at least the conflict within the book, was not my favorite, but just the whole adventure of it and all the shenanigans going on make up for that, in my opinion. So this one was a good one as well. Now, the last book on my list that I actually read, because I do have a couple of more that I haven't read that are on my TBR that I want to mention. So the last one that I read is called Sunrise with the Silver Surfers by Maddie Please. This one is a romance between two characters who are in their later stage in life. So this is a mature romance. We've got a heroine who is going to visit her sister in Australia. She lives in the UK, so she's on this flight going over to see her sister, and she meets this guy with whom she has a great conversation. She gets to Australia, she meets her sister, they have a wonderful time, and she gets to know that her sister and her husband are going to be going on this RV camper kind of a road trip. And she's going to get left there for a certain amount of time. And when they go on this road trip, the RV breaks down. No, the RV doesn't break down, but actually the guy who is driving, so her sister's husband, he breaks his leg. And they're stuck somewhere in the middle of nowhere. They're going to be, I think, flying back home. So someone needs to go and pick up the RV. That's going to be our heroine. And I think so, the guy who broke his leg, his brother. And the brother is the guy who was on the flight. Spoiler alert. So it's going to be her and this guy with whom she had a very good conversation. But in the meantime, she has also found out that this guy doesn't have the best kind of a relationship with his brother. So she's kind of wondering what is going on there. They have this road trip with a lot of conversation, a lot of very good chemistry between them. And I have to say that I really enjoyed this one because it just has a different kind of a pace to it, different kind of conversation going on. Not so much the tension of, having characters who are focused on their sexual attraction, more so characters who are focused on really getting along with each other. So I really enjoyed that aspect of the book. And the audiobook was quite quick as well. And it's set in Australia, which has a very good backdrop of scenery. Within the road trip aspect to it. So I really enjoyed that part of the book. And yeah, I would definitely recommend this one as well. And now we're moving on to 4 books that are on my TBR that also feature a road trip within them. The first one being by Candy Steiner. It's called Watch Your Mouth. It's part of her hockey series where we've got, I think, like a teammate's sister situation. So it's a forbidden romance. And I honestly don't want to know too much about these books before I go into them because I want to have an element of surprise to them. So this is a forbidden hockey teammates little sister romance as far as I know, and this one has a bit of a divide between my friends on Goodreads. Some of them really love it, some of them they're kind of on the fence about it. So I'm curious to see how I will experience this one because I really typically do love road trips within romances, so I think this one may work for me. And the second book is actually also by Candy Steiner, but this is from her backlist stories. I think it was released in like 2017 or 18. This one is called On the Way to You, and it features a friends to lovers romance and also disability rep because I think the heroine has a prosthetic limb. I'm not sure if I'm correct on this one, but I think that it has this ability rep in it. So I'm curious about this one as well. And then the next one is my favorite souvenir by Vi Keeland. Now, I have talked about Vi Keeland's romances before. They typically work for me. So I'm curious about this one because this is one of the few that I haven't read by Vi Keeland. This one also features a friends to lovers romance with a road trip and also a slow burn romance, something that I'm craving at the moment, actually. So I am curious about this one as well. And then the last one is actually a novella length story by Sarah Kate. Now, Sarah Kate's books are typically on the spicier side, so I'm expecting this to be a spicy good time. This one features a best friend's dad romance with a road trip thrown into it. So I think this one is going to be quite good. It's called Handsome Devil. And honestly, I've only read one Sarah Kate book in the past. I enjoyed that one, and I'm looking forward to discover more books by this author. Her spice is really good, and the novella length really makes me want to pick it up all the more because a spicy short best friend's dad romance sounds like a good time for the summer for me. So I'm definitely going to be on the lookout to pick this one up as well. All right, my friends, these were all the road trip romances that I wanted to recommend to you today. Please let me know if you've read any other road trip romances that you love that I should put on my TBR as well. I hope to see you in the next one. Please don't forget to like us and subscribe if you like my videos and if you want to discover more content from me. And have a wonderful, marvelous day. Happy reading. Take care and bye-bye.